Alright, thought I'd do a little update for everybody on my most recent mushroom grow. It's been a couple days since I showed you these bags last. This is the second flush of one of the bags that I told you I got a couple pounds off already. And this second flush seems to be doing a little bit better than the first flush. It's pinning all over the place. We'll see how many of them abort, but hopefully with good humidity and everything, you get some good production. This was the bag that's a mix of recycled newspaper, corncob bedding. It's got some coffee grounds in it. So yeah, looks pretty good. I've got two types of mushrooms growing in here right now. This one here is a king oyster that is just starting to pin. You can kind of see the pinning right here. And if I kind of come down here a little bit, you can see those little, they look like little dense white balls. That's the beginnings. Let's see. Over here on this shelf, got two bags of just the elm oysters. Let's see some little guys poking out there. And this one here is a little bit further along. Quite a lot of good clusters. These are my first attempt at straw, which so far, between just having to pasteurize it and the price and the amount, I'm very satisfied with it. These down here are king oysters. This was a slightly smaller bag of straw, which fully colonized faster than everything else. I got a little bit of a mold issue on part of it that didn't colonize. I think I've got that figured out, and it had to do with how I had the filter patch set up, and they were a little bit too full. It's got some weird looking mushrooms that kind of started folding in the creases, but this thing is just absolutely covered. This is its first flush. So looks to be doing very well. The last bag of king oysters I did was just on the recycled paper, corn cob, and aspen wood shavings. No coffee or anything like this other bag behind me. So far the straw seems to be outperforming. So somebody was asking about my fresh air exchange in here. What I did was, on this sidewall over here, I took a big filter. It's one of those nicer, no mold, no small particles get through. And I just cut a big hole and I just taped the filter to it, so it's constantly got fresh air. I don't have any fans that run. Just the humidifier, which I've actually turned up the setting. Oh, that reminds me, on my last video, it actually cut out the part where I was describing how I have the humidity controls. But this little probe right here is the sensor probe, and it's a humidistat and thermostat. There's part of, they're all hooked up to this. It's a ZooMed humidity and thermostat, but basically what you do is you plug in your humidifier and a fan or a heat bulb or whatever your intentions are into the plugs here, and then the sensor goes in, and it's got this humidity, or this gauge on it. So I've got the humidity set at 92, so it'll keep that humidifier running until the probe tells it that it's hit that. So right now it's only at 86 because I've had the door open and I've been in and out of it. But yeah, so this is my first doing pretty well. A big picture of the actual fruiting chamber. Just the basement windows. It's probably about 8 feet wide, 3 or 4 feet by 7 feet tall. There's the side view. There's the air filter. See the natural light coming in from the windows. And let's see. I also got this all planted out. Bunch of lettuces. I rescued strawberry. Let's see how that thing does. And some parsley, basil. So far everything seems to be doing pretty well. What I did is I cut up pieces of an old towel. I stuck them in there because obviously it's not rooted far enough down. Just kind of wrap the towel around these little peat plugs that I'm using. Yeah, so far everything's doing alright. New fish are all happy. Radishes are getting big. Can't remember how long it's been since the last video, but radishes always just grow very well in the system. It's a Brussels sprout. Let's see how that goes. And fish tank. So this is the jars. This one's 100% colonized. This is actually spores from a wild oyster that I found that I'm growing out. I'm getting ready to start my next batch. So by the time, hopefully by the time the ones in there right now are done with their second flush, these should be pretty close to ready to start fruiting. I've got a couple other going on. I've got some white beach mushrooms and some sawdust that I'm trying out. It's starting to colonize pretty well. Got some maitake going. Just did this yesterday, so no mycelia yet, but all things in time. Yeah, that's about it from the basement for now. Until next time.